Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 213 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate, coming in lava. This episode, lava, that's my word for hot fire. I'm trying to come up with my own vernacular here at Verbal Graffiti, but I'm coming in, streaming down the volcano with the teachers on the internet, and not just any teachers. I'm talking about how should I describe these people? Sex educators on Instagram. I'm not really sure if that's their title, but you can imagine looking at my backdrop and the filth we discuss here at Verbal Graffiti, and how my mind's normally in the gutter. That's exactly where my algorithm resides, is in the gutter. I have the type of algorithm where I can't open up social media in public because I have a joke I say on stage that gets a laugh with that. I'm not going to say it here at Verbal Graffiti. You're going to have to come see me live, in person, stand-up comedy. But there are these, but you can just imagine, my algorithm it's insightful, right? It'll make it move. Right. But anyway, so I'm on Instagram the other night, and actually I have been for probably the last month. When I should be at work, I'm scrolling through Instagram and all the apps. But there is this genre of sex educator, and it goes both ways. There are a lot of babes who will teach guys how to finger pop their babe, which I'm fine with, because they'll tell you it's a 30-second video, and it starts with what not to do. So it's usually boom, 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 boom. Not the sound effects, and they'll go no, and there'll be an X, like a suck it, don't do that, and then it'll be like a check mark, a green check mark, and that's where you do the come hither. Come hither, or you go around. You go around the lips, or around the lips this way. I'm sorry. Honestly, if you're still finger popping, who finger pops anymore? That's date 1, date 2. If you're still finger popping after date 3, grow up. Use your tongue, right? But then I'm fine with those. Thank you for the education, the B-Man. I needed that. Come hither. I know now. All right, but then there are the sex educators that are the babes that are teaching other babes and gay men, I guess, as well, how to give sloppy top head. And that's where my ire is at, where my umbrage, where my mind is at, because I don't like how you're teaching other babes, impressionable babes, how to give sloppy top head, blowjobs, oral sex. I don't like it, right? I don't like it for you. And I don't like it for the consumer of your content, of your education, because it's all wrong. It's embarrassing. I don't have a daughter. I have nieces. I'm not going to bring them up in this episode, although I just did. But there are ladies in my life. There are babes in my life. And if I found one of these babes on Instagram or on the TikTok, doing an air blowjob, similar to an air guitar. They're doing air blowjobs. They're showing you how to give head, but without a penis. They're just imagining a penis between their hands and how to suck it and go up and down. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's below you. As a blowjob giver, that is below you. You should not be doing that. There's air guitar, air blowjob. I don't respect that. That's... I know I keep saying embarrassing, but it's, you're discrediting the art form of oral sex doing that. You're besmirching your family name, your personality. That's why I have so much respect for the ladies of smut who actually suck dick on camera, because they're sucking a dick. They're actually doing the act in front of the camera. They're showing you their skill set for real. They're doing the deed for real. There's no imagination. They're showing you how to do it for your pleasure, for their bank account. That's why they're doing it. I respect them. It never really occurred to me till I started watching these sex educators on Instagram that just do the air blow job. Right? They'll do the air blow job and they'll start off like, okay, well, if you're going to do the cluck cluck, you got to go like this. 2 hands, up and down. First of all, come up with your own finisher. Stop stealing the name of the finisher from the Call Her Daddy girl. Don't know her name, but I know who she is. She's got the Gluck Gluck 3000 or whatever from years ago. Now all the babes under a certain age call it the Gluck Gluck. Like, come up with your own move. Be original. Be artistic. Stealing the name and the finisher of the Call Her Daddy girl, I don't respect you. If you were doing that to me, on me, leave. Leave. Literally, I'm probably, let's be honest, because I live with my mom, I'm probably going to be at your place. I can't tell you to leave your place. So I'm going to, all right, we're going to finish this. All right, and I'm going to finish in your mouth because that's what we do. I'm leaving. I'm not sleeping over because you stole someone else's move. And as a comedian, that's the fatal sin. You can't do it. What's that? The 7 sins or whatever? Like I can't respect someone who steals somebody else's move. I cannot be associated with someone. No, I'll get a blowjob, but afterwards I'm like, I can't come back and do that again. But honestly, come up with your own finisher. Okay? And then secondly, not every guy, not every John out there, you're not is capable of 2 hands. Be respectful of guys, the Johns who you can only do 1 wrist. And thirdly, don't use your hands. All right? If you're doing this on the penis and do it on a penis, please stop with the air blowjob sex tutorials. But this is not a blowjob. This is a glorified hand job. Do know the difference. If you're doing this and you're just wagging your tail wagging your tongue on the mushroom, and please, I sincerely hope you're not sucking a uncircumcised penis because those are, they give you the heebie-jeebies. Hopefully it's a circumcised with a mushroom on top. But if your head is only, or your mouth is only on the mushroom, that's not a blowjob. That's just a glorified hand job. You're just pecking at the head and not going any deeper. That's we don't like that here at Verbal Graffiti. A blowjob is use your mouth. They get the cum. They get the dick loogie from the penis. Go all the way down or as far as you can go. But that's not blowjob. That's hand job. See how you use your hand? That's a hand jibber. Mouth all the way down, that's a blowjob. That's sex 101 from the B-man to you. I'm embarrassed that I'm actually doing the hit. Well, I'm not giving BJs because I like the sniz, but I'm showing you what they do. So it's third hand what I'm showing you, so you get an idea of what these sex educators on my algorithm are showing me. Again, I have no respect for them. Not that means anything, but I have no respect for you. And I'm mocking you because you're getting views, giving an air blowjob. That's actually a hand job. So next time you're watching smut and you're seeing a babe really giving a blowjob, whatever, sloppy top, whatever, dome, right, a face fucking you, whatever it is, just be thankful she's actually doing a blowjob and not one of these hacks. And that's what they are. They're hacks. Sex educators on Instagram doing the air hand job that they call a blowjob. Get that off my feed ASAP. I wish I could X out of those. Moving forward. All right, this next one comes from the subreddit. Cougars and Cubs. Cubs parents. I have been with my boyfriend for nearly a year now. He is 23 and I'm 42. Wow. Okay, so that's a 21-year age gap there. He never knew his father, So it was his mother that I went to meet when things got serious. It was certainly a big awkward, but she understood that it was genuine relationship and not just an older woman jumping on her son, so eventually it came good. Wanted to ask any other women about their experience with this. Did I just get lucky his mom was very understanding, or has everyone else had a similar experience? We have a baby boy on the way. Whoa! Okay. All right, we have a baby boy on the way. You really went there. Okay. We have a baby boy on the way. So I can already empathize with the maternal instinct to protect him. The baby or your boyfriend, cub? I guess I like to think I understand in the same way she has. Okay, so you emphasize the maternal instincts you have are for the cub who just impregnated you. Cougar. Cougar. You did it all wrong. You played this game. You played it wrong. You lost. How did you mess up so badly? Like, everybody knows. No, I have no experience with this because I'm not a cougar, right? I am looking for a baby, a sugar baby. I'll be a sugar daddy, but I'm certainly not a cougar. It's different. But But I do know. Like, I've talked to other babes. I've seen movies. I've seen entertainment. You did it all wrong. You're not supposed to get impregnated by the cub. That's the last thing you want to do with the cub. The cub is supposed to be for shits and giggles. It's a roller coaster. It's a fling. It's a dalliance. That's what the cougar-cub relationship should be. Do not go and get impregnated by the cub. That's a major no-no. XX, don't do that. You did that way. What you're supposed to do is just enjoy his company after midnight. Right? He's 23, you're 40, what are you, 41, 42, 43. You're just supposed to enjoy this young stallion. His ability to go multiple rounds during one evening together without the assistance of BlueChew. You're supposed to enjoy that for a month or two and then put him back in the cubbyhole and go find a man of your own age or maybe within 10 years of your age. It's not supposed to be a lifetime thing. It's a type of relationship or dalliance where he should be content for your group text with all your other girlfriends that are in their 40s and late 30s. Like, he's supposed to be the one you all laugh about. You're supposed to tell the stories about how you snuck into his mother's house after midnight and you had sex in his childhood bed and you had to sneak out before the mom woke up. Like, you're not supposed to meet the mom. You're supposed to sneak into her house after she goes to bed and before she gets up. Right? And you're supposed to laugh about it in the group text and everyone's going to giggle. And perhaps, if you're a bit of a freaky deaky group, maybe you send a 23-year-old to go dick down one of your other girlfriends who's living with a dead bedroom and whose husband is overweight and has diabetes. Maybe you rent him out. And when you go out in public and someone mistakes this 23-year-old for your son, you're supposed to laugh about it in the moment with your cub, and then in the group text message after. Can you believe it? We were at Chili's. The bartender, they thought I was buying my son. No, you laugh about it. Shits and giggles. This is a time period in your life that you're supposed to look back on fondly. Like, I remember years ago, I was in love with this babe, Mary. She was a few years older than myself. She had just raised her child, who had grown up and in college. So she was fucking, right? Her daughter was finally out of the house or apartment. And so she was just fuck. Like, she was like a reborn virgin. And she was fucking everybody. And then, maybe not everybody, but a good number of people. And I remember her telling me about, like, she was in her 40s, but same situation you're in. She was a cougar, and then she had some, I don't know, the guy was 20 or maybe 25, whatever age. And I'd ask her, well, how was it? And she'd go, and Mary would go, oh, the sex was great. You know, like I'd go over his place like really late at night, but I could never date the guy. Like the sex was great, but like that's all I could do with him. Like other than that, like, what am I gonna do with the 20-year-old? Like I'm in my 40s, and that like Mary did it right, right. She got dicked down by this young penis, and then she went, and when she found other penis, she left him behind, and that's how you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to get knocked up, have a child come out of your vagina that half the genes are from a 23-year-old. You did it wrong. You're not supposed to meet the mom, but you're here. And this does nothing for you. I mean, you're pregnant. You met the mom. You probably asked her if she still has a stroller of that she used with your baby's father. So, I mean, listen, the advice I'm giving you now, like, you could only look back at it retrospectively and go, yeah, the B-man was right. Wish I'd watched Verbal Graffiti before I got impregnated by a 23-year-old when I'm 41. But like, I'm not pointing my finger. This is a general PSA to all you cougars out there. That's how you deal with a cougar cub dalliance. Now, for you specifically, it might feel like it, but I am not by pointing my finger at you. Right? I'm not. Hey, man. I get. First of all, like, I'm never gonna be critical of you or anybody for having sex without a condom. That's verbal graffiti 101. Do not use condoms. And of course, if you're fucking a 23-year-old, you're going multiple rounds. Yeah, you probably used condoms a couple times, and then you ran out, and then the morning came. He said, "Hey, let's get one fuck in before my mom gets up," and you didn't have any rubbers. So you know, you did it raw. Good for you, but you know, now you're starting a family with him. So I'm not pointing at you. I'm just live and learn. Live and learn. I will say this. I've never really had a real relationship, but I do, in my mind, I do know if I ever were to get in a relationship, my goal is to die before she does. And you're doing that right. Like, I don't have to deal with the death and the sorrow that comes with losing a lover. I don't want to deal with that. So in that aspect, dating somebody or getting pregnant with a guy who's 20 years younger, there's a good chance you're probably going to die before this cub dies. So if you're looking at a relationship that way, you are doing it right. You probably won't have to deal with the death of the cub. He'll have to deal with your death. So, I mean, you got that going for you. But again, I think I'm a bit unique in the way I approach relationships, where that is my goal, is to die before you. I do think that's a peculiar viewpoint. But maybe you have the same one. But yeah, all right. Well, I'm rooting for you. Hey, he's 23. You know, he'll be an active father, right? Right? He'll play, throw ball with the boy. You know, he's young and spry. Hey, man, live. We need. What am I saying? Let's move on. All right, let's go look at something. I miss Happy Meals. The happiness they provided me. It's the perfect name for the meal. A Happy Meal, because it makes me happy. And it probably made you happy as well when you were a child. It's the perfect marketing. McDonald's, Mickey D's, they did it right. That little clown, Ronald McDonald, he knew what he was doing. And it was a perfect meal. It really was. It wasn't just the meal. It was the giddiness when your parents told us, or told you, we're going to McDonald's. and you got happy because you knew you were going to get a Happy Meal. It was a perfect thing. The adults, the parents, whomever, they had the bag, the roll-up bag, but the Happy Meal, hopefully you know, it was a little box with the gold arch, and you opened it up, and then you were always in the backseat of your car. You didn't wear a seatbelt. You didn't have to wear a seatbelt in the 90s or maybe the 80s or 70s or whatever decade you were when you were a child. But you opened it up, and I believe there was a cheeseburger, a small fry, and a little pack of cookies, and then the toy. The toy's always what I looked forward to the most. I would scarf down the cheeseburger. I'd eat the fries. I'd save the cookies for later. But then the toy. And I'm not sure if they still provide the toy with the Happy Meal today. But back in the day, the toy, they had like different toys. They had toys for boys and toys for girls. And you would have to tell the worker, the guy behind the counter, or the drive-thru, go, hey, Happy Meal, and then they would have boy or girl. And then you would say boy. They probably don't have that today, although there's two genders, a boy and girl, but we're not going to get into that. But there was a boy and a girl, and then sometimes it would mess up and you'd get the girl toy, or sometimes there were like multiple toys during one time period, dinosaurs or whatever, and you'd want one, but then you would end up getting another one because it was always a surprise. But then whatever the toy was, I would play with the Happy Meal toy for months. And we didn't go to McDonald's often because I was the youngest of 5. And even back then, in the 90s, you go to McDonald's with 7 people, 5 kids and 2 parents, you're pushing $75. That's a lot of money to spend in McDonald's, even in the 90s. So we didn't go often. So it was a treat. I remember once we were going to, I think we were going to Rochester, New York. I think we were going for a funeral. Maybe his mom or his father died, my grandparents. So it was a long drive, especially when you're a kid. Like an 8-hour drive when you're a kid. That's a season. You start the car, it's snowing, you get there, you need your sandals. That's how long a drive that drive is when you're 8 years old. But we were going, and then we stopped at a McDonald's, or maybe we were going to Florida. We were a long drive. You stop at McDonald's on the highway. That's a different type of McDonald's, but you still get the toy. But the toy, I played with that toy for weeks. You imagine that? That dopamine rush, the dopamine rush of a Happy Meal toy when you got the one you wanted. If I could, I hate that I was introduced to babes and alcohol. I wish I never went. Puberty was the worst. Puberty ruined the Happy Meal. They don't tell you that when you're going through puberty. And you don't really even realize, at least for me, I didn't realize it until decades later, that's what puberty is. The Happy Meal ceases to be happy. You're like, well, only one cheeseburger? This isn't going to fill me up. Small fry, they're all the ones on the bottom, and they just toy you, throw it out the car door. Screw global warming. Yeah, but man, before you're interested in boobies, the jigglers, and before drugs and alcohol and acne, the Happy Meal was bliss. I really hope there's Happy Meals in heaven. That's the first thing. God, or Jesus, whomever, am I in? Am I through the gates? Is there a Happy Meal in there? All right, let's dance. Man, but remember that? The giddiness? I really hope now that there's this, especially amongst white college-educated parents who don't give their kids fast food. What are you doing? You're depriving your children of happiness. That's what the Happy Meal provides. Happiness. Why would you not want your kids to have that? No, I'm not saying go every day or every week, but once every couple months, you gotta just tell the kids, you go, hey, we're going to Mickey D's. And then that giddiness in your kids, that kid spirit, that's what the Happy Meal provides. So to deprive your kids of that, I mean, I mean, are you even an American if you're not getting a Happy Meal for your kids? Screw the trans fat. They're kids. They'll get over it. They'll exercise. They have gym class. Man, I don't really know what that's about. I've been thinking about Happy Meals the last 3 nights, and I'm getting one. I know. I have a receding hairline, balding. I'm getting myself a Happy Meal, and I want a toy, and I'm gonna show it here. All right, moving forward. All right, this next one. My phone has not been opening of late. Okay, comes from the subreddit Coffee Shop. I just visited a new city, and there were half dozen coffee shops. But according to Google, they all closed by 5:30 p.m. and only Starbucks was open until 9:30 p.m. It's not that I want to go to the corporate Starbucks chain, but the sun hasn't even set yet, and the city's independent baristas want to go home before most people even can get coffee when they leave work. These places need to at least try to compete. A few months ago, I had a comedy show. Comedy here. Who wants to see comedy? Downstairs, free show. Starts at 8:30. Who wants in? Sorry, that's when you bark on the street, that's what you do. You yell comedy and try to pull strangers into your show. But I had a show at 8:30, or maybe it was a 9 p.m. show actually, but I got there at 8:30 in Manchester, Connecticut. It was a street I was unfamiliar with. So I turned the corner, got to the venue, 8:30, but the show started at 9. Yeah, that's right. But in the distance, maybe 75 yards away, the B-man noticed a sign above a store that looked like a coffee shop. I have 20/20 vision, magical, great. I should have been a pilot, like a boom, maverick, right? But anyway, so I'm there, 75 yards away. I noticed the coffee shop, the signage. So I thought it's 8:30. Show starts at 9. I'm not the opening act, so I got time. So I started galloping towards the coffee shop because when I saw the sign for the coffee, I got a little pep in my step. I felt my heart skip a beat. I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's get a little of the bean juice before the comedy show. So I'm walking at a brisk pace, faster than I normally walk, but not a speed walk. And it's chilly out. It's winter. So I'm walking fast, and the thoughts of caffeinated going down my gullet and burning the top of my mouth and tongue. It's festering in my head, and the closer I get, the more joy that I have in my heart. But then, as I'm about maybe 25 yards away, it starts to dawn on me. Because, oh wait, it's 8:30 at night. I hope this coffee shop is open. And when I got maybe 10 yards away, I started to notice, like, I didn't see light. Right? I was on the side of the street the coffee shop was on, but I could already tell there was no light coming from the coffee shop. It was just a wood sign. So as I got to the storefront, I noticed all the lights are out, no one's in, and my heart dropped into my stomach when I saw the sign on the front door that said open from, I think it was 7:30 to 5:30 p.m. I was 3 hours late to this coffee shop, and it was my fault. Like, I can't blame the coffee shop for not being open at 8:30 p.m. Right? Hate the player and hate the game. But that's a tough walk back. Right? Winter, a little frigid out. You walk down the street thinking you're getting coffee, and then you gotta make the walk back without the coffee. Are you kidding me? How can you survive in this world? All these people bitching about genocides. Like, I didn't get my coffee. Like, what are you complaining about? So I get what you're saying. I've been there plenty of time, but I think us late night coffee drinkers, and that's what I am. I would be a late night coffee drinker if there was more options available, because I'm a dangerous man, the B man. I will have coffee after 9 p.m. That's who I am. I live dangerously. But I think the tides are turning. Now, I can't speak to where you live, but where I live, late night coffee shops are becoming a thing. A big thing. Right here in West Hartford, there is a new Yemenis coffee place that's every time I've been there, they've been open till at least 11 p.m. Probably past midnight, and it is packed. It is packed. And it makes sense because it's Yemenis. I guess there's a big Muslim population in West Hartford, Connecticut. So I think Muslims don't drink alcohol. So where are you going to go at night to hang out if you can't go to a bar or restaurant where all the drunks are? You go to the coffee shop. So that's where they reside. And there's always more people at the coffee shop, this Yemenis coffee shop, than there are at the bars and the restaurants after 9 p.m. I noticed that. In New Haven, Connecticut, there's a Yemenis coffee place. Maybe that's what the Yemenis are doing. They're coming to America and opening up coffee shops. In general, I know nothing about the Yemenis other than these two coffee shops. But there's one in New Haven that I just opened that I noticed, and there were people in there after 9 p.m. Also, downtown New Haven, there's another coffee shop near Yale campus that is open late at night on the weekends. And what I've noticed of all these coffee shops that are open, after normal coffee shop hours, there's always people in them. They're never empty because people like coffee. If you're an addict to coffee, like, you're not going to have it just because it's 9 p.m. It's like, and you're so used to not being able to find coffee late at night that when you do, even if if coffee wasn't on your mind, seeing a coffee shop open, you're going to go in. Oh, wow. You got to take advantage of this. It's almost similar to a sale, something 50% off. Well, I wasn't going to get it, but it's 50% off, so I am. Well, I wasn't going to get coffee, but it's available at 10 p.m.? Hell yeah, I'm in. 20 ounces. Black, please. It's funny because I've walked by so many bars and restaurants late at night, at 10 o'clock, nobody's there. No, there's just a bartender hunched over the bar, scrolling through her phone, twirling her hair, just hating her life, waiting for her shift to be over. And next door, the coffee shop packed to the gills. People doing work, people having conversations. It's the place to be. So I think just through what I've seen in my community, in my travels, that the late night coffee shops are percolating, right? Are brewing up, to use a coffee term, and it's encouraging because honestly, if you're going to do drugs and tequila and alcohol and all this stuff at 11 p.m. at night, what's a little coffee? Honestly, if you're gonna throw pickleback shots at 11 p.m., like, why can't I have a 16 ounce of coffee, double shot of espresso? Why can't I do that? So it makes sense, and I'm encouraged because I'm right there with you. I've been preaching this since I started drinking coffee in my early 30s. Where's the coffee? 10 p.m. I want it. I need it. I want to consume it. So yeah, it's coming. Wherever you are, it's coming. And you're going to love it. Go suck a fat one.